All right, hello, my name is Mr. WhyzGuy, and as you can see, this is my channel. Do what's on screen. Thank you very much. We're gonna be watching Rad Feminist instantly quits debate after hearing Destiny's logic. And yeah, so sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy this very short clip.
Well, I think that the main problem with the sex industry is that no matter what, there's always tons and tons and tons of exploitation and tons and tons and tons of abuse and trafficking.
Oh yeah, listen to this person very, very carefully.
Doesn't seem to be any model that stops these things from being foundational to the industry, really. It seems like these things are inherently a part of the industry. Countries that have tried...
What things? What are you talking about?
Things from being tons and tons foundational to the industry, really. It seems like these things are inherently a part of the industry. Countries that have tried...
Okay, I understand what she's trying to say.
Legalizing, like Germany, for example, have seen trafficking blow up even more so than it already had been. And part of the problem is that most women and girls don't want to be in prostitution. So there's a huge demand for prostitution.
There's one assumption there. Most women and girls don't want to be in prostitution. It's a sweeping generalization. That is okay. Yeah, sure. I think we could all agree about that. But that's still a generalization that isn't like, what is she basing that fact on? Just talking to people, or is there actual data points behind this? That's what I think he's going to try and like maybe point into.
There's a huge
I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
And there's
it's been a while since I watched this.
Very many women and girls in the world who want to be in porn and want to be in prostitution. So that's where the coercion and exploitation and
yeah, we all agree about that. But what about the people that do want to do that? Because it's a choice to go and sign up for OnlyFans. It's a choice to turn on a webcam and do those things. So obviously they're not being coerced into choosing into doing those things.
Sometimes force happens. Like, I mean, I think people think of trafficking as like this very specific thing where someone is kidnapped and, you know, maybe brought to another country and literally forced to sell sex, not allowed to leave their room or whatever. And that certainly does happen. But trafficking can also look voluntary. I think there's a lot of women who are in prostitution and porn who men would not believe are trafficked, who would believe that are there voluntarily, and it's not the case. And I think, I mean, I've spent a lot of...
So is that her basis for why everything that they see in like doing sex work or anything is, since men sometimes don't believe that they were doing that, it means everyone that does like OnlyFans or whatever are just, they just don't want to do it. So it's all like they just all don't want to do it. I don't think that's true.
Career talking to women who've been in porn and prostitution, and all of them say that while they were in it, they would have said that it was fine and that they were there by choice. And then after they left, they began to have a more complex understanding of the coercion that happened, whether that was via a pimp or like a brothel owner, or you know, most of these women are struggling with like substance abuse issues, addiction, mental health issues.
Notice how she's saying most and not all, because she knows she can't say all, because not every single one doesn't like what they're doing and think that they're being coerced and doing these things. Some of them genuinely like doing what they like doing. But I know she's gonna try and make this. She's gonna use, oh, since most, therefore all, and I'm like, no, that's a sophistry, and she's bouncing around a lot of points.
All of them came from, you know, they had histories of really serious trauma, molestation, sexual assault. I think that it's a lot more complex than choice versus not choice. And I think that's a really oversimplified way of looking at the industry. And that's how a lot of people who will say, well, it's fine so long as there's consent. And I think that they're not taking all these other factors into.
Okay. So she doesn't think, she's saying that even if they do consent to it, it's still wrong? Is that what she's saying? It's an oversimplification. And I'm like, it's more complex. Okay, then break down the complexity. Instead of just saying, oh, you're just oversimplifying it. All right, then tell me the more complex parts about it. And why it's not just simply their choice. I think that's what she should do then.
Account.
Okay, before we dive too deep into this, I think
And she didn't even do that. Okay. All right.
we need to separate out I think we need to separate out a lot of different things. So firstly,
Okay, so you made it to the end. I'm just here to remind you to don't be disrespectful and throw a comment down below because you left without saying anything, and that's not cool. Remember to do things on the screen right now, and thanks for watching. This is an automated system, by the way.